All right, well, let's go ahead and get started, I think. Let me share my screen. All right, can everybody see that? Great. Okay, so we're doing our next Talking with Your Pompe Peeps. And this one is Spooky Soirée, enjoying Halloween with Pompe disease for you and your kiddos. So Halloween can be a challenging time for many parents, especially when there are mobility issues for your kids, or if you're a parent that has Pompe and want to go trick-or-treating with your kids. So we wanted to kind of explore some of the tips and tricks that those in our community have come up with. And so if you're stuck thinking ideas, or if you've made an awesome one that you want to share, this is the time and place. Oops. So the first thing is, if you live near family or friends, or you have an especially close neighborhood, you can go ahead and reach out to some of the people on your street or in your area and let them know beforehand that if their homes have steps, if it'd be possible for them to come down and meet your child on the street. This will prevent your kids from tiring out, from going up and down a lot of stairs. And if they use a mobility device, they can still feel included. You can also run ahead to the door while another adult is fixing the costume, distracting the child, and let the house know that the steps are difficult for your kid and ask if they can come outside and down the stairs instead. And, a lot of times people are going to be more than happy to accommodate. Halloween is all about the kids at the end of the day, right? And Haley and Crystal mentioned that on Halloween night, they used their stander to around the neighborhood because she didn't really like to be in it, but it had a table that they could put the trick or treat bag on. And so then she was getting a good exercise and stretch while also doing a fun activity. Other suggestions for Halloween activities is that carving pumpkins can be difficult for kids and adults too, if we're honest. But painting pumpkins might be easier. Although Marcia will tell you that you need to be very careful not to paint the entire pumpkin, or it starts to ooze very fast. Then also many towns, cities, and churches have trunk or treat events. And that might be a really good, fun, accessible opportunity for you and your family. So then what do you do with the candy? Well, for trick or treating, again, if you live near family or friends, you can give them a heads up ahead of time that maybe something like bubbles or crayons or stickers might be a good alternative. And many times, especially family and friends are going to be more than happy to accommodate requests like that. And that, helps to lower the amount of sugary snacks in the house. But at the end of the day, kids still need to be kids, and we don't recommend, completely boycotting candy. Let your kids have some. But to get rid of the bulk of it, we came up with the switch witch. And I'm going to turn it over to my sister to let her explain.
Unmute my audio. Okay. The switch witch is a really easy concept. Essentially, it's just that you tell your child that the switch witch will be coming on Halloween night, or maybe even the night after Halloween if Halloween night gets too busy, because I know trick-or-treating with your kids, there's a lot going on. So even if it's the night after or something like that, that's fine. if they're, like Tiffany said, you don't want to completely maybe take away 100% of the candy, but even if that is a thing in your family, that's fine too. But what you tell them is that the switch witch is coming and that they need to put their bucket on the front porch. And then after they go to bed, the switch witch is going to take their candy and then they're going to have something else in replace of it. You know your child best, so it would just be using something as simple as, like Tiffany said, stickers, crayons, those little poppets, tattoos. My kids love the little rub-on tattoos. And again, it doesn't have to get expensive. It can be something like the dollar store. My kids love the Dollar Tree because they've got squishies and toys, little toy cars. They've got the Hot Wheels for the boys. So it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Sometimes it's just like sunglasses or like the cute headband like Jules is wearing. They like to play with those things. So it's that simple. And then honestly with the candy, because sometimes you might not just want to throw it away. So you can also donate the candy. I know that most fire departments will take the candy. And then there's also a program where, and you can ask your local fire department or police department, and a simple Google search will tell you drop off locations, but you can also drop it off to a place that will donate it and ship it to the troops. So anybody in the military that, they want a little candy treat, or, obviously we get too much, even if we don't have a child with Pompe. I know my kids get excessive amounts of candy. So whatever they don't eat after a certain time can easily be donated. So those are definitely options. It's fun. It's easy. It doesn't have to be anything, having to go above and beyond. So it's just something nice and simple. And I also, Tiffany, you mentioned painting the pumpkins. I think at the Dollar Tree and at like the Spirit Halloween stores, I've seen them. They also have pumpkin stickers where they actually have the faces. So you can choose the eyeballs, the nose, the mouth. So if you don't want to paint it and you just want to do the stickers, they have that too. Like I know they have like monster ones, and then they have some that make them look like little jack-o'-lanterns too. So that's also a fun, easy option.
Yeah, less mess, right?
I want to add that there's some dentists, because I know when Orchid was younger, there's a dentist here that they'll buy back your candy. It's not a lot of money. I don't remember. It's like something a pound, but you can resell the candy to them. I don't know what they do with it. But
No, good question.
Yeah, it's a dentist. But yeah, they'll buy back the candy. Yeah.
I bet you they eat it. I bet you the dentist eats it.
They probably hand it out to all of the all of
Get
their
more
employees.
customers.
Yeah.
You got your teeth cleaned. Have a bubble gum.
So then I asked a few of our resident Pompe families who've been there, done that, for some Halloween ideas. And this is what Sabrina sent in. These are some pictures of Zach through the years as he was growing up. And she said that as far as special conditions, they were very careful about the neighborhood that they chose to trick or treat in, so that they didn't have to deal with a lot of stairs and houses were closer together. And for the costumes, they were all easy, light, nothing that obstructed his vision or was bulky or difficult to walk in. And she said that they were mindful of the candy, but not unreasonable, and basically let him have a little less than half of what he earned. So that was a way that he could still participate, but not go too overboard. And then these are some photos of Haley. And I know Haley's on the phone too right now, or she was. Just some different cute Halloween costumes. Let's see. Pretty sure one of these is Harry Potter. And then her brother gets to play a role later on. And then these are some costumes of Luke Garrett and his teacher. Easy to do pirates and karate. And then, for the adults out there, you don't have to go elaborate. This was me and my friend and her husband, and we were the three little pigs and the big bad wolf. And again, it was just something simple and easy to throw together at the last minute. And then we found some photos online, honestly, of different suggestions of how you could incorporate your wheelchair into Halloween costumes.
They're very creative.
They
Mhm.
are, and there's more and more places now that are automatically doing the wheelchair accessible costumes. So I know Spirit Halloween has some, and I know Target's on board with it. So Target a
Really?
few years ago put out, so if you don't have a creative bone and you're going, that's not possible, I'm not making that, you can find them now. There are a lot more, there's a lot
That's-
more options out there, which is nice.
Yeah. These look like they took a lot of thought and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
Although,
creative. It's cute.
Yeah,
I mean, I would
I
totally do that,
know.
but I'm a creative bug, so I would do it. But
I love the Rocky one. I think
yeah, that's cute.
that
And
might
that's
be my
easy PVC
favorite.
pipe.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. All right, and so, you know, I guess it's, kind of just turning it over now to everybody to talk about it. What worked for you, what didn't work for you growing up. And I can jump in. I remember I was diagnosed in sixth grade, so I was kind of already getting to the point where you didn't trick or treat too much. But I do remember one of the last years I went trick or treating. It was difficult because it was a neighborhood that had hills and stairs, and it was more trying to keep up with the other kids. But it would have been better in hindsight to have more open communication about it and the difficulties, and maybe chose a different neighborhood. But I'm pretty sure that year we went where we had some friends. Yeah. So that was one thing. You went to a neighborhood that had shouting. Yeah. Yeah, so Morgan saying that they chose a neighborhood that everybody was closer together. And I agree, that's definitely the way to go. And then as an adult, participating in Halloween, you still want to see the kiddos. Clearly my sister and I are pretty close. She lives next door, and so, for us, I like to see the kids in their costumes, and so they always make it a point to start the night at my house. And so I get to see all the costumes, and then I've gone trick or treating with them as well. And you just go to a few streets, you kind of watch them run up and down. And then that's cool, and you can leave and they can keep doing their thing. I think another thing that I was thinking about last night, Jules, you were telling me that with COVID, your neighborhood really kind of changed their approach to trick or treating, where instead of kids coming to the house, the families set up kind of in their driveway.
Mm-hmm. The driveway grab and go, we call it. So everyone just puts a table out at the edge of the driveway and they decorate it. It's funny how they decorate the tables now. And then and we hand out the candy from the table. When it was COVID, we would do individual baggies. So they would come and just grab their own bag because that was COVID. But everybody liked it after COVID and we still do it. Actually, I have to post a reminder for, it's coming around. We're doing the grab and go again. But it's neat to just sit out there in your chairs and watch all the families come down the street in their costumes and just their creativity. Some do a lot of theme family things and they're just hilarious and funny. Some are really creepy and scary, but it's just fun just to be out there and watch them come and go versus being in the house and then waiting for the door to the doorbell to ring or someone knocking at the door, and you just kind of see it that way. So it just makes it more inclusive and being the whole community being a part of Halloween. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we do.
So any other thoughts, any suggestions on what you've enjoyed doing? Haley, Ron, anything y'all want to share? And George said he was on, but I'm not seeing him.
Well, I seem to be on twice again, so I don't know who the other Jules is.
That must be
Maybe.
George. Hey, George. So yeah, I mean, let's see. One thing Luke wanted me to share also is that, you know, it's rough enough having Pompeii, but, you know, definitely I think what we've shown with Morgan and Haley, Luke and Sabrina is, you know, let the kids be kids on Halloween. You know, you don't have to let them eat 5 pounds of chocolate, but a little bit of sugar isn't going to be the end of the world. And it's important to participate in activities that their peers will be participating in. I think it's just one of the fun parts of being a kiddo. And even an adult, it's fun to play dress up once a year and be silly and fun.
Hello, it's Haley. I really enjoy now watching my brother trick or treat, even though he's only 2. He's very excited about Halloween. He was watching the presentation with me and all the different costumes, and he kept saying Halloween, Halloween all over again. But yeah, we normally just go down our road. Our road is a private road. So no one really comes down it except for family, like cousins and stuff. So it's kind of our own private trick or treat that we do. And all our cousins dress up and it's fun. My mom's here too, listening in.
Hey, everybody, I think one thing I just thought about is some years my both girls' birthday were right around Halloween, give or take a month or so. And I know with my other daughter, we would have like a Halloween birthday party sometimes because we had the fun of making all the cool Halloween decorations, and the foods was my fun part of like making all the creepy looking foods and things. So I think that would be a neat idea to have like a little Halloween party with a small group of friends to bring people into one location, that they're not going out and about, but they can still see people come and dressed up and have fun. We had music and fog machines and, the punch with the dry ice in it that was smoky. So, I mean, there's a lot of fun that I think even people can have their own little house parties and bring people there versus having to go around and walk and get tired as well.
Yeah, thankfully my family is very good. The people who live on our road is all family. They're really good about coming out and handing the candy, to me in the past. And, they understood that I couldn't come up or, go in the house like everyone else could. So, yeah, they're very good about coming out to me to give me candy, which is very nice. I like Halloween, but it's not my favorite holiday. But my dad is a very Halloweeny person. He loves Halloween. But yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, hey George.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I tried to start my video there. I was having some major technical difficulties, but I guess you don't really need to see the video anyway. And I guess now that you say something, it would be cool for me to at least send a picture. But one of the things that we did during COVID is I'll set up a tent outside in the driveway, so to bring the tent away from the house to kind of get closer to the revelers, the trick-or-treaters. And during COVID, I remember they're like, oh, you got to stay 6 feet apart or 8 feet apart. So I'm like, okay, well, that's easy enough. And so I made this thing, I call it a candy cannon. And It's essentially, it's an 8-foot long PVC tube that I kind of painted up camouflage or made it look kind of monstery. But essentially, I take the candy and I slide it down the tube.
No,
You just have to slide it fast enough where it goes. I'll throw it through one end and it comes out the other end. And the kids would stand there with their bags at the other end and they would catch it in their bag. And it became kind of a challenge where now they still do it to this day. Every Halloween for the last 4 years, they come to get fired at by the candy cannon. And it's pretty funny. So yeah, so it worked really well. And it's one of the things you can do, you know, for just making Halloween more creative. And then for Phoenix, he'll usually just kind of stay at the house, or we just walk around and look at other costumes because, you know, he can't eat any candy. We don't do anything. He can't really eat by mouth. So that's one of the downsides for us for Halloween, that it's all about eating, you know, stuff he can't have, but he can go out and see all of the monsters in the streets. And so we kind of walk the street and do that because there's that aspect of it. And Phoenix loves Halloween.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's part of the fun, right? If you're at your door or your tent, or if you are out on the street, it's just fun to see all
Right.
the creativity. And sometimes you have a theme each year, right? Where everybody wants to be the same thing. So then that's fun to see what the latest costume is. Where we live, I mean, you'd think South Texas, we're gonna have warm weather every year. We don't. It has always been very unpredictable what San Antonio is gonna be. It's either gonna be 80 degrees and you're sweating, or 30 degrees and you're freezing. So I think our fallback costume was always cowgirl. So that made it pretty easy. You pull out your jeans and your vest and you're good to go. But that was definitely my fallback costume.
That's a good idea because even around here, we gotta kind of have two options if it's really cold or if it's really hot. But George, it was neat that you just said that about the slide. We just went to Busch Gardens a few weekends ago, and Davis dressed up as a little pirate, but they had one little area that you could walk through and they would kind of slide you candy through a little thing that they just stood there and waited for. He didn't get the concept at first, but after a few times, he thought it was the coolest thing to stand there and catch it. Sometimes it fell on the floor, but he really enjoyed that. And that's a neat idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. The kids love it. I have like a special strap that it's actually tied to the bottom of the tent, or it's on the side of the tent, because I'm underneath the tent and the cannon's like outside the tent. And so they're out there and they try to challenge each other on who can catch it. And if it hits the ground, it's fair game. Anybody can get it. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, and then you're the house to be known for in the neighborhood, and everybody makes it a point to come to you, which is really cool.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's a thing now.
You know, Krista, you were talking about Halloween parties. And I'm sure my sister remembers this, but when we were growing up, only 1 year, we had a Halloween party. And a particular year, we had, sorry, my cat. We had this huge cold front blowing. And it went from like a beautiful day of 70 to like 40 degrees or something like that. And Mom had set up in our garage, and it was like this big elaborate thing. And we're all freezing because the wind is going directly into the garage and there is no escape. And we were begging her to let us come inside. And she was like, no, I'm not letting 30 kids in the house run around. Y'all are staying outside. It's not that bad. It was that bad. She kept disappearing inside. But that was the only year we ever had a Halloween party.
That's fun. And when I was looking for pictures for you, I was coming across some of the pictures from the Halloween party and sending them to people. They're like, oh my gosh, that was the funnest Halloween party. I remember that. And it was something that even last year I was like, we've got to have one next year. And then already it's October. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
kind of forgot.
Last year, Mom's like, dang, I want to have one this year. And then I guess we'll do it this year. And then this year, she was like, Oh, we only have like a week left until Halloween. I guess we'll try to make it work next
Next
year.
year, oh my goodness. But it's,
Yeah, good intentions, right? We always have good intentions.
yeah, it's fun.
Ron, from the adult perspective, do you have anything you'd like to share? Putting you on the spot just a little bit.
You're
Me?
on mute if you are trying to share.
Yeah. And Dr. Raven, Dr. Martin, feel free to share your thoughts on Halloween. And what do you love about it, or ideas you might have? I think we're all creative and you just kind of figure out what works. But feel free to jump in also. Does everybody know what they're gonna do for Halloween this year? What you're gonna dress up as?
David is dressing up as Chucky.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
I got most of the costume together. I got the, well, I gotta wash it. I might have bought it too big, but it'll fit for next year. So
No,
I got
nothing.
the-
What's she gonna be?
Chucky.
Chucky.
That's what I'm going as.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
I found a shirt that's similar and I was like, well, I guess this means I gotta be Chucky.
Well, and Andrew has the red hair too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make my hair all crazy.
I bought some like chalk that we can put in his hair and just overalls. And
Nice.
realized because the only other outfit I got off of Amazon for the Busch Gardens Day was a pirate, and it was just really thin, and he didn't want to keep the hat on. So I'm like, I'm gonna find something that he can just wear normal clothes. And we were looking at the Chucky pictures, and we're like, you know what? He would make a cute little Chucky doll.
But every time you ask him what he wants to be, he says he wants to be a ghost.
A ghost. He loves ghosts right now, or vampires and monsters. So he's loving all the pumpkins and everything.
That's
There's, I
adorable.
meant to mention, there's a place nearby. It's about 30 minutes for us, but there's different like Halloween-y, it's actually a Christmas place that they do lights where you can walk through the whole thing, and they have, but this year they did some of the whole landscape with Halloween lights, and they just posted that the other day. So there's different like drive-throughs, kind of like that they set up for Christmas, but some people do it for Halloween. And a lot of those are either in the car or like in this place, there's a walkway. It's kind of difficult for her, but she can get through in her power chair pretty well. There's one little ramp part that's like a bridge that we have to safely make sure she gets over, but the rest of it is fine. But it's like a walk-through area looking at the Halloween lights. Those are neat and can be pretty accessible. And
We haven't
the
gone
kids-
yet. We want to.
yeah, we got to go one night. We just haven't found time, but he'll love that. He will love it.
Yeah, and then like one of the slides showed, trunk or treating is
Mhm.
definitely an option. Andrew, I think the kids' school does it
Mhm.
like before Halloween or something, so you can do both.
Yeah, they're usually before Halloween. They're not usually on Halloween. And I will say you don't even have to be part of the church that the trunk or treat you go to.
Yeah.
Like they never mind. So if you're like, oh, I want to hit 5 trunk or treats, I mean, you can do it. They don't care. They're like an open to anybody that just wants to grab some candy and do. So
Yeah, I know two churches local to us, and one I might be helping at tomorrow night, possibly hand out candy. The church I know the youth group at is doing one tomorrow, and then another church near us is doing one on Saturday. So Davis liked them last year. He was only 1.5, so he didn't really like understand it as well. Not that he understands what Halloween is now at 2, but he likes it more. And like at the particular Halloween or trick or treat tomorrow, it's not just it's a trick or treat with cars set up outside, but also when you go in, they have like food and they have games like pick up the duck, and then however many whatever numbers on the duck is how many pieces of candy you get, or whatever. And they have not just in trunk or treat, but also like different games involved too, which is fun.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think, if you look at it, like you're thinking of it now, I think more from the adult perspective, right? You like seeing Davis experience it. So similar to, how parents would be. And I think you're right, there's all sorts of ways that you can participate and experience it with your kiddos. So, yeah, I love those ideas. I think we usually go to one of the trunk or treats with Andrew and the kids. Just to see them in their costumes, see them running around. Last year, my mom decided it'd be a good idea to take the dog. That was not fun. The dog did not enjoy it, but we still had a good time.
We still always, the first house we go to is always Tiffany's house.
Mhm. And I get them actually, I do something non-candy usually because I know they're gonna be getting
Way too
more
much.
than enough during the day, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, she usually does like more of like the boo basket. I don't know if y'all seen those online, but they're kind of trending more now. But the little basket where she knows their favorite things because she's around them all the time, so she gets to see,
Mhm.
what they're into. So
Yeah,
she'll do.
that's what my
Okay.
grandma used to do every time either of her grandkids or great grandkids would go to her house. She knew what kind of candy they liked and what kind of soda they liked. And not even at house, but every time you would go over to Tammy's house, she would make sure that she had your favorite candy and your favorite soda there when you got there.
Mhm. Well, that's what your aunts and your grandma are for, right?
Yep.
One of the other moms was mentioning, looking for the turquoise pumpkins in, front
Oh,
yard.
yeah.
And that is another option. Find the email.
Do
Okay.
they still do them?
Yeah,
These
people
are
still
for
do 'em.
allergies, right? These are for allergies.
Yeah, it pretty much means it's a non-candy option. So usually it just means like not candy because it's
Mhm.
also for kids that have diabetes or, whatever their issue or like, yeah, a nut-free thing. But it's kind of become I think when it first came out, it was a nut-free, but it's more
Mhm.
today, it's more of like we're going to have a tattoos or stickers or something that's just not candy.
Mhm.
I'll admit, one year I did toothbrushes
Oh,
with
no.
candy,
No.
wait, with candy and some other, but I thought what with you, okay, and obviously it was not.
No, that's the dentist house. Nobody wants to go to the dentist house.
Mm-mm.
Well, I was trying to find something that was practical, I guess, but anyway, I don't do that anymore.
Oh, man, I
Funny.
did work
But I
with
do
this.
I do a combo. I buy
Okay.
little like the juice pouches too.
Yeah.
Or the little water bottles and then some candy too. So I do that. But
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, Allison was the one that mentioned that, and she said that Target actually really has gone into that, and you can find information on it. And I will share the link here if I can figure it out. But you can find options at Target specifically. And yes, it did start as food allergy. So that's another fun option. She said that both of her boys like to run around the neighborhood and look for those houses. So it works out well for her. So we've got costume ideas, how to deal with the candy, how to trick or treat accessibly. Are there any other areas of Halloween that were tricky for you, or you had to be creative to overcome, or just favorite parts of Halloween even?
I feel like when I was younger, when I dressed up, they like for me, like things have to fit me a certain way in
Mhm.
order for it to work. So I feel like I would really have to like try on like a lot of costumes sometimes to make sure I had the thing that fit me the best and
Mhm.
most comfortably. Um, I remember, I think my mom sent you this picture, but I was a police officer, and
Mhm.
then another year I was a doctor for Halloween. So I like, medical stuff, raising or not raising the hot. Yeah, there we go. I do not know what my sister was trying to be in that picture, but anyway, and then the one with the one with the panda bear face, when I saw my mom send that picture to you, I'm like, Mom, I don't like that picture, but whatever, it's fine. Um, I don't know why I don't like that picture, but I just don't.
It's
What was
cute.
the other one? Oh yeah, my dad really liked Miami Dolphins, so he gave me one of his jerseys one year, and I dressed up as a football player. Honestly, don't even know who that was that I was dressing up as.
That's my
That tells you how much I like football. Um, and then that one year I just put a hat on because I didn't want to be anything really, so I just put like a hat on. And then the Harry Potter one, my sister actually got that one from Harry Potter World in Disney, and she let me borrow it. And I'm pretty sure that the tie and the sweater was my sister's too, because I was never a fan of Harry Potter and still am not a fan of Harry Potter. Um,
Well, you look adorable.
yeah, but that panda one is the least favorite. I did not like that. I did not like that panda. Mm-mm.
It's cute.
Here, so to be fair, because of our neighborhood and the young kids would just come and visit all of families' houses, they didn't really care what age you were. Like I could have dressed up and they would have given me candy. They had so much of it, and they have like each family house has like a bag. So it's not like you just get one piece. You get a whole bag of stuff. And so they mopped up. But when we were about to go out, it's like, well, sometimes it was like, let's put something on quickly. So I think the one football, we're like, Daddy has a football jersey. We'll just grab a helmet
Yeah,
and
so
football.
I was like, I don't even know whose jersey that is. They tell you how much I like
Yeah,
football.
sometimes it was last minute stuff or drawing the panda face. But I mean, when she was younger, which is the pictures I could not find in time,
Mhm.
definitely the cuter thought.
It's funny because my mom also is the master of last minute costumes. Like
Something
she
you
can
have to
find
be.
random stuff in the closet, throw it on you, and all of a sudden she made my dad a cone head once. For the
Mm-hmm.
baby cone heads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Threw that together in about an hour. It was amazing.
Yeah, I told him I remember when I was a doctor. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and what was neat, sometimes when she was doing home infusions, because the police outfit, I remember her home infusion week, like, or not home infusion, her hospital infusion, they let them dress up some. So
Mm.
every now and then, you could just check to see what days they might do that and if they do festivities. But she would wear costumes sometimes to the hospital because that was the day that they happened to do
Mhm.
that. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not planning on being anything this year, but my mom will probably throw something together last
I don't know
minute.
about that. We'll see. Oh,
my
But
It's fun. It's fun.
my
yeah,
favorite definitely is the Dolphin jersey because I think that's a
it is Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas. Sorry, Zach Thomas
Yep,
jersey. He was like one of the best linebackers ever for the Dolphins.
yep, that's him.
Hey, Haley, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a player that plays for the Dolphins now. His name's Tyreek Hill.
Uh-huh.
And his last name is spelled Hill. But I made a character last year named Tyreek Hill, Kill, and it was
Oh,
basically Tyreek Hill's jersey, but I had like this skeleton head on. It was pretty
cool.
funny, but it was a Dolphins themed
Yeah,
Halloween version.
that's good. My husband would love that. He's a diehard Dolphins fan, but it's not going so well this year.
Yeah, definitely not going well this year. But also sort of points to that last minute costume thing. I definitely do that a lot as well, even with Phoenix.
Yeah. And some of those are the best costumes, actually.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, because they can get pretty pricey if you do a lot of the store bought and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun to put them together.
Yeah, for sure. And then, things you can wear again
Yeah,
are never a
definitely.
bad thing. All right. So anybody else have ideas they want to share or thoughts or I think we've put together some good suggestions for our fellow Pompe families out there, right? And at the end of the day, it's about, yes, we have Pompe, but let's still have fun. Right? Oh, Morgan just posted, if you're always cold, dress up as an Eskimo. I think that's a perfect one. Yep. That would definitely be a good suggestion for me.
I have been an Eskimo for the past 3 years.
You've done it for the past 2 years. Hey, Coburn.
Hey, Coburn.
What's he doing home?
Yeah, what are you doing home?
Came visit.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
good to
what's
see
your-
you.
Oh, your
What's
face
your
is everywhere.
What's your favorite Halloween memory?
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I remember that was like right when we first moved here. I only remember because it was snowing. And it was
No.
raining and snowing. And Morgan was dressed up and we had to go trick or treat. So we walked around the neighborhood for what we could tolerate. I remember that one. Only because it was really cold.
That
was
that would definitely be memorable.
I was a
Yeah.
fireman and you were
An Eskimo.
I don't even, yeah, right. Honestly, I don't remember what you were. But it's been a while.
Yeah, that sounds about right, where you just never know what the weather's gonna do.
So I guess we can't complain over here with our weather. Never dawned on
I
me
mean,
to go trick or treating in the snow.
I do feel like that one year it could have snowed. It was that cold.
It's a little chilly up here in the north.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought a brand new smoker, and I just
Mhm.
assembled it, and Morgan has been very excited. All right, I'm gonna leave
Very
it.
cool. We smoked our first pork roast this weekend. Well,
turn
we
out?
did it in the oven, but next time we'll smoke it.
So what are y'all gonna make on your smoker? What's the first thing on the menu?
Morgan's requesting salmon, so that's what we're gonna do first.
Mm.
I love
Smoked
salmon.
salmon.
That sounds really good. You're gonna have to let us know how it goes.
It
Yeah,
had
share a
gotten
picture.
delayed. It was supposed to be delivered Friday originally, but the storm, they're backlogged on the deliveries and it showed up this morning. So we've been assembling it for the last 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
It's ready.
Nice.
All right.
Is your water back on again?
It is. Well,
Oh,
it's
good.
water advisory. So flush the toilet, take a shower. That's about it.
Well, that's better than not having any water
That
at
is
all.
true. That is true. All right, I'm gonna leave you to it.
Well, for our last topic, and Tobin, you can participate here. Tomorrow is National Horror Movie Day. So, what is your favorite scary movie?
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, that's a good
It's
one.
not, but it's a good one. It's supposed to be scary.
Which one did he say? I didn't hear him.
What is it?
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Best horror movie?
I don't like horror movies
I
at
really
all.
should stay away from those.
I can't.
So, my favorite scary movie, because I saw it when I was young, and I still think
The
it's
Village.
scary, is The Birds.
Oh,
Yeah.
To this day, driving through the medical center or grocery store and seeing
All those black
lots of
tackles.
birds. Yes, I'm like, oh my God, it's the birds.
Oh,
Do you
I
know that
Right.
movie did not scare me? I thought that that movie was absolutely ridiculous and silly, quite honestly. I kind of laughed at it and I was like, rolled my eyes. However, Tiffany made me watch this when I was little. And even though I did not find it scary, I have a fear of birds. And I've often thought, I wonder if that's where it stemmed from, even though I didn't find the movie scary.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
she is. She's terrified
But
of
I'm
birds.
deathly afraid of birds. Like, if a bird comes
I
near me,
bet.
I will scream.
Probably
Yeah,
from
me
the movie.
too.
I think Tiffany traumatized me.
Have
You're
y'all seen The
welcome.
Village?
the
In the what?
village.
Yeah. It's basically these people that live in like this colonial town,
Uh-huh.
and there's a monster that comes out at night. If you're out at night, it basically attacks you. And something happened. There was like a little like blind girl that lived, and her mom was sick, and they didn't have a doctor. And she's like, I'm gonna go set out, even though I'm blind, to find my mom medicine. And anyway, she like goes out of the village, she sneaks out, nobody knows. And she gets far enough to like the edge of the gate at the town gate, and it's basically like an observatory, like it's a social experiment with what's his name, the comedian guy, kind of like that movie, or Jim Carrey. What's that movie called where they're kind of watching?
Oh,
Oh,
so
Yeah, the Truman
Yeah.
Show. It's basically like that, but this is a horror version of the Truman Show. And she gets away and she sneaks out, and then I guess the village elders knew that. It's like an Amish community, but they're being watched. And there's people that go and like watch their city, and they don't even know they're there.
oh.
So
It's
do the watcher, like, does the audience know that this is like a Truman Show
No.
situation, or you don't know till the end?
so the audience knows that they're watching. The people in the village have no idea.
But the people in the village have, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this. I have not seen this
It's
one.
good. It's the Truman Show, but horror edition.
Yeah, I love the Truman
Nice.
Show. All right, I'm gonna write down the village because I want to remember that one.
Highly
I
recommend.
the Village of the, what is it, Children of the Corn and
So that's
Village
scary.
of the Damned, right?
I don't know.
Those are people where the kids, take over. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see Jack and Amy doing that. I'm joking. Okay, Marcia, what's your favorite?
I think the only thing that I've seen that was a little scary is the fog. And there's a big lighthouse, and the fog comes in, and when
Oh,
it comes
yeah,
out,
yeah.
there's
Mm.
I don't watch horror movies just because it sticks with me. When I was young, I was in the Air Force. I think I was 24. And John and I had this big Halloween party planning. So we had a bunch of people come over to carve pumpkins. They were going to watch horror movies, and we were watching Halloween, I guess, way back. This is in the 80s. And I watched all the way to near the end, and then I left to get pizza. And they're going, you're leaving at the good part. And it's like, oh God, I don't want that. No, I can't stand that stuff. The jump out and scary.
I love horror movies, but I don't know if I can think of like my favorite one. Like, I don't know.
We saw.
a lot
Should
that I
we go
like.
see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
I
that's a good
watched it-
one.
I watched it through my fingers,
I
and
like that one.
it scared her so bad she slept in my room for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my problem. I love horror movies.
But
then-
you-
I watch them, and then growing up, I would move my mattress into Tiffany's room for like a week. And she'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "I watched a scary movie. I
I
have to live in your
remember
room now."
we left Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she's going, okay, let's do the math. Oh my God, he could still be alive. What if he was in the theater with us?
Yeah, I was like, he probably went to go see the movie.
Okay, Matt, you are our resident scary character
Oh.
Halloween person. What's your
Yeah.
favorite?
My favorite horror movie would probably be Sinister.
Have not seen that one.
Remember, Matt, when we all watched The Birds as a family? And I couldn't wait to, show you kids this scary movie, and John made you guys laugh all the way through it.
Yeah,
You remember that? You guys
do.
thought it was the funniest thing ever. Oh,
Well, back
mean-
Ruined
then
it
it
for
was
me.
scary and it was the thing.
I still think
Fast
it's
forward to
scary.
now, it's like
It was. It was
cheesy
still
and-
scary to me, but
It's so
John,
cheesy.
I mean, it's easy, but then you see a giant flock of birds and you're like, it could happen.
I mean, I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, Jules, how about you?
I'm with Marsha. We didn't watch a lot of scary movies growing up, but we did like, I remember like on the Friday, Saturday, of course, I grew up in Hawaii, but they would have like creature feature,
oh yeah, I remember
Weekend,
Creature
right?
Feature, yeah.
but the scary movies were like Godzilla and, things like that. So it wasn't necessarily horror.
I
in that
remember
respect.
one,
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. I did
Ooh.
watch that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I know. I would never watch that one again then. Ugh.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't handle it. It's like, I like the Hallmark movies, the
That's
The
great.
feel
We need
good.
We need Hallmark to make a scary movie.
I was
for
gonna
us.
say we need Hallmark Halloween. How have they not done this?
oh, they already started on Hallmark Christmas now, 24/7.
Oh
It's
I don't
my
have to
a-
watch the news anymore because the movies are start when I'm up at 4.
I
can
remember
watch the movie.
watching Outbreak when I was little.
Ooh, yeah.
I remember it came on TV and I watched it in mom and dad's room. I sat on the floor in front of their TV and watched it. I don't remember how old I was, like maybe 10, 11. And I remember that terrified me.
That scared
Like, I
you,
wouldn't even
yeah.
go near my own dogs for a while.
Yeah.
Like I remember looking at them like,
Yeah.
like, I was scared.
George,
But I haven't seen that one as an adult. I wonder if as an adult, would I find it scary or would I be like,
I mean, I think after COVID, it's a little bit scary still.
I mean, right? Like I can still remember like that person. Like
Yeah, I
talking
think
and-
for horror movies, there's like the gory, right? And there's the
Mhm.
Right.
suspense, and then there's the ones that are really, like you say, really scary and thriller or all
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
above. Yeah.
I like the jump out at you scares. I like the jump scares. I think they're funny and fun. And I mean, I do get scared. Like I am like,
Mhm. Yeah.
I love them. But the ones that really get me are the ones that could be real. Like I remember, I think it's called The Cabin or The Others or The Strangers. I think it's called The Strangers. Very scary. That one gets me because it's just like people outside and it's like torturing the people inside, like, and trying to get in. And that one's terrifying. That one gets me.
George, what about you? What's your favorite?
Yeah, it's funny when you mentioned the birds. I hadn't seen that in a while. I guess that's an Alfred Hitchcock movie, I think.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is.
But yeah, no, it does change you when you see a flock of crows or blackbirds coming around.
Thank you.
That's the only part. But I'll tell you, that is kind of creepy. But no, my favorite has always been the Halloween sort of series, the original Halloween from 1970. And then Halloween 2 was kind of carried on from that. And then they had a whole bunch of them that were just horrible, that were like weren't even worth watching. Until I think it was 2018. They came out with a Halloween 2018 where they got back together with Jamie Lee Curtis and like a lot of the original cast, the original Halloween character himself, the guy who played Michael Myers back in the 80s. He was on it, and I was floored at how good it was.
It
Like
was good. We
Yeah.
loved that one.
Yeah, it was really, really good. But yeah, the Halloween stuff is pretty good to watch. Those are like my favorite. That and the Friday the 13th, those old ones.
Mhm. There's something classic about it. It's just so good.
Yeah, definitely.
Morgan says that she likes the Disney Halloween movies.
Yeah, that's
Hocus
her
Pocus.
speed,
I
yeah.
like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Okay, now
definitely.
Hocus Pocus is cute. Not
Yeah.
scary, but it's cute.
It is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one I was trying to think. Oh,
There's a few on Disney.
not horror, but kind of scary. The Jurassic Park movies.
I thought of Jurassic Park 2, Tiff. Like it's not really scary, but it kind of is.
The first
Well,
one was
we
terrifying.
saw it pretty
Suspenseful.
young.
Mhm.
And the first one, when that first T-Rex comes out at you, okay, that's how it's always kids, let's admit it. And I'm a terrible aunt. When her oldest kids were little, we let them watch Jurassic Park, like they were little.
Mhm,
What do you think, 5 and 7, something like that?
mhm.
And they loved it. Now, it was on accident. I blame my dad. We came downstairs and they're watching it.
Mhm.
And then they just loved it. Although Ray did for a while think the dinosaurs were real.
Look how cute he is.
Hi, Davis.
Say hi.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to play.
You're like, I don't want to
Skinny
be on
big.
I think he's not only getting out of stage of naps now because the past 2 days now he is not taking a nap. And
Mhm.
so I think he's getting out of the nap stage now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
Moms
when you-
always live for those naps, you know? That's where you
But it's nice,
recharge.
though, because he can go to bed earlier than normal. Like me and my dad were out somewhere at volleyball last night, and the mom's like, I put him to bed at like 8:45 last night. Whereas, like, if he takes naps, he doesn't go to bed till like 9 or 9:30. So at least with him taking naps, he can have an earlier bedtime.
Yeah, well,
That
that's
is the nice thing about losing naps. At first, it's like, no, don't take away the nap. But then you realize, oh, earlier bedtime. Yeah, forget the nap. Who needs it?
Yeah.
Just do bedtime earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice. I like that too.
Yeah, Andrew is past the nap stage, but they do have chill time.
Yeah, we should try to make sure that they have some sort of not going and doing time just so they can chill out for a minute because otherwise they get overstimulated and then we're gonna have a meltdown.
Yeah.
Which always happens at my house.
Yeah. Well, we're always at your house.
Yeah, and it probably doesn't help that we always have sugar over here, but yeah.
Yeah, Nani brings out speaking of sugar, cookies, ice cream. Like once we've already had dessert and stuff, it's like, okay, we're good. And then my mom comes out with who wants some ice cream? I'm like, Mom, no, cut them off. No. Like they just had a cupcake. They just had a cookie. Stop. And she's like, but they want an ice cream.
And it's just a little ice cream.
It's just a little baby ice cream. I'm like, golly.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Okay.
They are.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for participating today. And for those that weren't able to join and they sent their photos in, it's really great. And I think it's fun to get together and share our stories. And I now have some scary movies that I may or may not watch. I don't know.
You don't
Probably
have
not.
any, you don't have any from me, because I'm like Marsha and Jules, I do not like
Yeah.
scary movies. I literally went to a drive-through Halloween haunt one time with my dad and my cousin, and I looked at my dad, I was like, this is all I can take, I can't do this anymore.
One thing is you don't ever want to go through a haunted house where your son, Matthew, is what is it, Leatherhead or whether chasing you with a
Leatherface.
chainsaw, Leatherface. Oh my God. You know, running, chasing me and my sister with a chainsaw. That is horrifying.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, which of course they can't like get you, but they like, we did a drive-through once and they come up to your car and one of them had a chainsaw and it was like a Halloween haunt that had like characters from like different like Halloween movies, so like Beetlejuice and The Conjuring.
That's neat.
No, it was not.
At least you can drive away and you're faster than trying to run.
Oh,
Or
Yeah,
move.
I had my
Remember when
cousin
we
with
were
me
little?
and my dad loves Halloween and he's like, we're not leaving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but I can't take this anymore. I
When
made
we
it
were
through.
little, there
I
was
made it through.
when we were little, there was somewhere near us that did haunted hay rides through the dark woods, and that was scary.
Oh no. No.
The Air Force Base had a haunted thing through the forest, and oh God, I hated that one too. I got into the cabin, I couldn't get out. Oh, anyway. Hey, George, it's good to see you.
Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, I couldn't get off mute there. Yeah, it's good to see you guys too. I just realized I have this. Haley, you'd like this, you and your mom. So that's you can see that there's a Miami Dolphins jersey on this guy right here. He's a
Nice.
yeah, got the Miami Dolphins jersey on. Yeah, so he's the bartender. So he's
That's
yeah,
funny.
he's gonna go out for Halloween this year for sure.
You'll have to take a video or a picture of your little setup and send it to me. 'Cause it sounds really
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely for sure. Your dad will love it.
yeah. Yeah. Tell Phoenix we said hi.
Okay, I will absolutely. Yeah, he's in there on his computer right now. We're actually getting ready to go to the store to buy stuff for our golf tournament. So we got to
Nice.
do all that.
Fine.
Well, thank y'all all. I think that's been a really fun hour, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's. Oh, Morgan, are you wearing, is that,
She's got a pirate hat on and a
is that like one of those filters, or are you really wearing it? It's a filter. That's really cute.
Pirate Pet.
That's so cute.
Anyway, well, happy Halloween, everybody, and enjoy your scary movie tomorrow night.
Yeah. Everybody, Halloween. Good seeing everybody.
good seeing y'all too.
Vibes.
Bye bye.